All right. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. What's up, everybody? Man, we're back in business. We are back in business. San Antonio Spurs played. It feels like it's been forever because it has been forever. The All-Star weekend wasn't the best for us, right? From us getting disqualified in an event, from us getting snubbed from a dunk event. Just wasn't the greatest time to be a... I mean, it's still a great time to be a Spurs fan, but, you know. In that event, it wasn't the best showing. Clan, don't you think this is just a lie for tanking? No, I don't think this is a lie. It's not a lie, actually. Okay, so how should we do this? Guys, I'm actually not... I know, like, a lot of people are upset about the whole situation, which, I mean, it does sound scary. But I did get some info, and now it's everywhere, so I guess it doesn't really matter. You can take my word for it or multiple outlets' word for it, but I'm not that worried. I'm okay, guys. It's fake. Oh, thanks, Vic. Victor's in the chat, y'all. Wembanyama said it's not real. What up, Clan? Finally caught a stream again? Heck yeah. We want flag? We can get flag. We might be able to get flag. Maybe. Probably not, though. Hold on. Let me bring some stuff up real quick, which I completely forgot to do. Clots can be underlying conditions, especially at only at 21 years old, regardless of what your biased self thinks. Jeez, Chandler, that was unnecessarily aggressive. Are you okay? All right, let's see here. Let's bring this up. Log this bad boy in. Crap, if it goes in. Wemby about to come back buff. Maybe. What do you think about Ace Bailey if flag is unavailable? I say yes. That's an easy yes. We probably need to start looking at these draft picks sooner than later. So I know that that's what everyone is looking at. So there's a few things. Let me see. Hold on. Let me bring everything up. So there's a few things to talk about, right? Quite a few things to talk about. I'm so sad. Guys, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Hold on. So, yeah, let me bring everything up because there's been a lot of misinformation. Some stuff that I think genuinely is quite disgusting. Hold on. I commented on something. I want to show you this too because I was like, dude, this it's not even funny. All right, let's see here. All right, we also have this, and we have more. There's quite a bit here. What's up, Clan? Quite a season, huh? Weird, man. I mean, you have a Pop go down, and now you have this. But it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be okay. This is a long video. I don't know if I'm even allowed to go over this. I don't think I want to go over this entire thing. Okay. Well, hold on. I got more. right. And then lastly, we'll talk about the game. So hold on. Let's see. I saved so much. I just forgot to put the tabs up. Actually, we'll just use this one. That might be better. Alright. Did you see Skip Bayless tweet about Wemby? What a bum. Oh no. What does Skip say? Alright, let's see what Skip Bayless said. Would have been hours ago. Oh wait. All right, we'll take a look at what he said in a minute. Okay, we'll tag him up with disgusting behavior. All right, cool. And then I have one more thing. I do want to go over this game. Like, we're not going to ignore these games, okay? We're still Spurs fans at the end of the day, all right? With or without Wemby, we are Spurs fans. Before Wemby got here, we were Spurs fans, all right? While Wemby's here, we're Spurs fans. And the day that he retire, we will still be Spurs fans. So we do have to go over the game, all things considered, which I was actually very optimistic about. I was very optimistic towards this game. All right, so first and foremost, obviously you guys got the Victor Wembanyama news, okay? A lot of people actually messaged me and was like, dude, why haven't you talked about the Wemby? What was that? Okay, Black Ops 6. Why did I get a notification for Black Ops 6? Anyways, a lot of people asked, why didn't you go over the Wembanyama stuff? But, I mean, this is why. You save it for live streams, man. Like, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Wasn't going to randomly just post something because, obviously, you've seen it around already. So, what we'll do, I want to go over this game in particular, okay? I'm going to give a little bit of hopium, at least how I feel about the whole Wembanyama situation, after we talk about the game a little bit. And yeah, we'll do some separate segments on the actual Wembanyama stuff, right? But first and foremost, shout out to BetUS. We're going to let BetUS sponsor this segment, so they're sponsoring this segment. So we'll talk about the game, talk about BetUS briefly, and then I'll take a look at what the chat has to say, and then my overall thoughts about the team going forward. So this game, I said this last live stream, or was it last live stream? Or yeah, it was last live stream. It was yesterday, actually. That I said that the Spurs are still going to win games. I thought that they would win this game, even though we knew Wemby wasn't playing. Now, we didn't know how severe it was. It just said illness at the time. But I still thought, yeah, Spurs could win this game. We're just a pretty good matchup going against the Suns. So it's just nice for us. And yeah, I knew that we would more than likely outplay them, right? So that's what the Spurs did. They outplayed them. They played tough. They played with a lot of energy. I was actually quite surprised by the sheer amount of pace, or that fast pace that they ran, and also dribble handoff offense as well that they began to run. So it was pretty nice. It was different. Not something that we were accustomed to this season, but hey, when Wemby's out and you know that he's out, you have to adjust, and I think Mitch Johnson and the coaching staff did a really good job of that. So overall, they played very well, I think. Still not the biggest fan of not playing your roster, right? Like, we're still doing that. Not the biggest fan of this starting lineup. Now, I've been very adamant about that. But at the end of the day, we got to see Biyombo, which I was a little confused by, guys, because wasn't he on a 10-day contract? 10 days would have already been up. I don't know. don't know. Maybe we got some misinformation there. Maybe someone in the chat can explain that. But anyways, everyone played very well. I have actually no critiques on anybody. Like, I know you're probably waiting for me to say, well, Keldon Johnson's defense is always bad. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, I thought he played really well. I thought he outplayed the Suns in every facet. And with the Suns going small ball, he was really able to, take over. So we won't get this every game, but it's nice to get it in a game like this. And obviously we needed him. So everyone played super well. De'Aaron Fox, this is what we're going to see. This is going to be a trend. He's going to continuously finish games. Now, like I said, I'll talk about what I think the Spurs should do or what might end up happening after, we talk about this a little bit. But right now, for the time being, he's our finisher, and he definitely finished strong. He was able to just get whatever he wanted on the court. The only player I think today that didn't play as well, it was a few players that didn't play as well offensively, was Devin, Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and Chris Paul. But Chris Paul still had 10 assists, and that was really good. So I saw a few people kind of worried about Devin, and I saw this sentiment around Twitter of people saying it's time for you to prove that you belong here. It's like, guys, the San Antonio Spurs, I think, have kind of made up their mind as far as who's going to stay and who's not. I don't think that there's anything that Keldon Johnson can do over the course of the next, several weeks for the Spurs to change their mind on who he is as a player and how he stands. Like, he's pretty far. He's still young. All of them are young, but he's pretty far in his career. Devin Vassell, we know what he is, right? So I don't think there's anything he can do that just convinced the Spurs, right? We know that he's streaky. At the best, at minimum, he is a, third best scorer, fourth best scorer, or whatnot. So the Spurs know where he stands. I don't think that that's something where he has to prove himself or anything. They know where Sohan stands. He's super young, great defender. I don't think anyone on this team right now is like fighting for a spot, right? I think everyone, as far as where they are with the team, is kind of set in stone. And I think the Spurs already have an idea of what they want for the future and what's going to work. So I think that that's just a bunch of baloney, right? I don't think that that's true. But, I did expect them to play hard, and they're going to continuously play hard. And, a lot of people just instantly believe that we're going to lose a bunch of games because we don't have Wemby. But I don't think that's necessarily true, right? Now, what's going to help us lose games is not having a center. I mean, let's just be real, okay? Not really having a legitimate center. Biyombo was great, but, he's a little undersized, let's be honest. And we don't have another center other than him, right? You had Sohan run center a lot. We're going to see plenty of that. And, yeah, that's what's going to help us lose games. But if the Spurs can manage to keep games close, I have no doubt in my mind that De'Aaron Fox could probably, not alone, but, playing him quite a bit in the fourth, he could probably finish off, 6 out of 10 of those games that are close. So, Spurs are still going to win games. I don't think that this is a necessary, huge tank going forward. But I loved it. I loved this game. I thought they played hard. Kevin Durant looked really uncomfortable whenever Sohan was guarding him. So that was nice to see. Julian Champagnie, I don't think any of us necessarily overrated his defense, right? It seems like most of us are kind of like, oh, he's a good defender or average defender. Some people say he's a bad defender. I think he's slightly above average, especially for a player coming off the bench and what you get for his type of archetype. But, he did okay, but I did see him get beat more often than not. And that's not good. That's not good to see sometimes, Champagnie is a decent defender. Yeah, he's a decent defender. Like I said, slightly above average defender, I think. Vassell is a poor man Fox. Very similar game. Not really. Like, Devin Vassell, he's nowhere near a finish. Like, De'Aaron Fox is straight up downhill, phenomenal finisher. Now he's a 3-level scorer, right? But, he's a downhill finisher. That's his bread and butter. Devin Vassell is not that. I would like for him to be that, but he's not that. More 3 than D. Are we talking about Julian Champagnie or? Vassell streaky? Yeah, he's streaky. But his game is not like Fox's at all. Vassell definitely likes to take outside shots more than going downhill. Fox is a blur. It was so many times that I got frustrated, and this is why I don't like the start lineup, right? So many times I got frustrated where Fox would get the ball, take the ball down the court. He would speed up the pace, but then he would slow it down because he has Chris Paul. And then he would give it to Chris Paul, and then we run a half court set. And it was like, you could have very well got a foul or finished right there. Like, you had an open lane, but we slow down because the way these two play are just different. It's just different. It worked out today, but I'm still worried about it. Fox first step is insane. It really is. But anyways, overall, if you want to know, how the Spurs did versus the Suns, just team to team, head up right here. Let's see. We had a slightly better field goal percentage, not much. Slightly better 3-point percentage, not much. Same free throw percentage, just about. Well, we went 17 for 22. They went 17 for 20. Rebounds, we had more rebounds. So like I said, we did outplay them. Assists, had a couple more assists. It was pretty similar. Steals, we had 13 to their 6. Blocks, we had 3 to their 4. Oh, it's weird seeing block numbers this low. I'm not used to that. I don't like that.
Rookie of the year.
No, it's still doing that.
Celebrating his first
hold on.
All-Star selection.
Why is it still doing that? I don't get that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Good Spurs win to celebrate Clan's 56th birthday. What? Dang. 56? What? Is it your 56th birthday? I got to turn this down, man. I can't be letting old head Clan. I know. What the heck? Anyways. 56th birthday. Anyways. Total turnovers. We had much less. Let's see. Fast break points. We had way more. So we definitely had a faster pace than they did. Points in the paint. 50 to their 36. So like I said, this isn't something that we're going to see every single game. If the opposing team has somewhat of a competent big man lineup, we're going to struggle. But like I said, if the Spurs can just manage to keep it close, I have no doubt that we can win most of those games. So we'll see. We'll see what comes. But overall, I was really happy with this win. I thought that it was a good game overall. I thought we played hard, and I already kind of expected us to win it. And going forward, before we talk about that, really quick, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. So got quite a few things here that you can go over, like regular season win futures. You got some NCAA stuff. Honestly, I'm actually curious about the Cooper Flag one. NCAA specials with Cooper Flag. Which team will select Cooper Flag? So if you look at the San Antonio Spurs, they have us with not the best odds, but better than a lot of teams' odds of getting them. So you risk 10, what is that, 180? Yeah, you risk $10, that's $180 if the Spurs were to get Cooper Flag. So if you guys are interested at all, head on over to BetUS, check it out. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposits, up to $2,000. And that is, it's not only, but you need to use promo code YouTube150, okay? Use promo code YouTube150, and that will hook you up, okay? YouTube150. All right, let's see. Back to the game. And I want to tell you my overall thoughts about the future of this team. So we know that Wembanyama is out for the season, right? With a blood clot in his right shoulder. So I actually heard, and it's a lot of different sources now that's out there, but I heard this early on in the day. And this is, take it for what you will. I know a lot of people will say, look, you're just on YouTube, you don't know anything. What are these sources or whatnot? But I have some pretty good, like really good. Okay? Like really good. And actually, it is, obviously it's serious. They wanted to make sure that he was okay, he was good to go. But at the end of the day, they're actually super optimistic going forward. So they really do believe that he'll be fine next season. They caught it early. And at the end of the day, you know, he's going to be all right. That's the main gist of what I got, is that he's going to be fine, and the Spurs are taking care of it, and he's good. He's good to go next season. So I didn't want it to happen like this, because I kept saying this to you guys over and over and over. Some people were like, "Oh, you jinxed it." I didn't want Wemby to play over the summer, and I also alluded to maybe once he gets to those 65 wins or 65 games played, that we could just sit him for the rest of the season. That's what I thought was best, especially when we noticed how he was out of breath so often. Like, even in the All-Star game, we were like, oh my goodness, like, he's out of breath already. He was out there for like 5 minutes, right? So everyone was noticing this, and I was thinking that, hey, you can sit him. This is a really good draft coming up anyways. De'Aaron Fox, he can get the surgery on his hand, which that might still be a possibility going forward, so we'll just see what the Spurs do there. But just overall, I just thought that maybe that's the route they'll go in. But now he's going to sit, and this could take 3 to 6 months of blood thinners from what I've heard. So if that's the case, then that means he is not playing, right? He is not playing in the summer. He is going to have to miss out on the summer. But this would be a good opportunity for him to get the conditioning right, for them to get on top of this blood clot, make sure that he's good to go, and at the end of the day, we'll be all right. Okay. So I know I've seen a lot of people bring up Chris Bosh, saying, well, Chris Bosh had it and that ended his career. Chris Bosh, was later on in his career, and you can also look at positive stories, right, that came from it. Brandon Ingram, I believe, is a player that recently had this issue and ended up being totally fine. So it's not necessarily, complete doomerism, right? As far as the Spurs organization is concerned, they are super optimistic. Everything I've heard, super optimistic. It's going to be fine. And we know how the Spurs medical staff is. They got on this quickly. They want to make sure that he's good to go, and we'll be all right. Okay, so I know that it's a bummer not to see any more Wemby this season, but number one, I think that it's now that we know the illness, it's definitely for the best. Number one. Number two, this was a weird season to begin with, especially with the Popovich stroke, just some crazy stuff going on this season. Number three, this doesn't necessarily mean that the Spurs are going to lose the rest of their games. I think that we still have a pretty talented group. Adding De'Aaron Fox guarantees that we're going to get more wins than maybe you even expect. And number four, if they do elect to go ahead and sit De'Aaron Fox, that's fine as well, because we'll end up getting 2 great picks in this upcoming draft. So regardless, I don't think this is anything to panic about. I don't think this is anything to be upset about. Obviously, I want to see more Wemby. Obviously, I mean, if I'm being selfish, it's good for the channel to have Wemby, right? Like, more people tune in. It's going to be plenty of people in the next coming weeks start to tune out because Wemby isn't here, right? Like, there's certain fans that's just like that. And that's okay. That's cool. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to be here. I'm excited. I think that we can see a lot of great things. This game in particular has some really great highlights, right? This was a fun game. So we'll still win some. We'll be all right. It's not like the Spurs were world beaters before, okay? So it's not like we were setting the world on fire, setting the world ablaze, before. So we'll be all right. I think we'll be okay. Now, as far as our playoff hopes, not 100% sure on that, if I'm being honest with you guys. Playing hopes and all that. I just got to be honest. Let's see. So right now we're 12th. We did tie it with the Suns. Suns really need to win this. So, yeah. Here, let me go to our games. So, as you can see, there's a lot of winnables. Let's see. It's a lot of winnables. Pistons might be a little tough, but it's definitely winnable. I think, what is their record? 29-6. They basically got our record, like, just flipped, just about. So yeah, so Pistons, that could be a win. Pelicans might be. Pelicans. Okay, are they on a? Okay, they're not on a winning streak. Who am I thinking of that's on a winning streak right now? Oh, maybe I was thinking about the Pistons. Okay, see. Pelicans should be a dub. So you could very well win these next 3. Houston Rockets, I don't know, guys. I'll just be transparent with you. I don't know about that one. Grizzlies, I think that's a wash. I don't think we win. We probably don't win any of these 3, right? But we can fight. Nets, possibly. Kings, possibly. Wolves, possibly. Like, there's a lot of games here. Mavericks, we could probably win those. Hornets, we can win that. So the rest of our season isn't that difficult. It's actually pretty smooth, all things considered. So we're going to see plenty of wins going forward. So I just wouldn't worry about it. Oh, and Atlanta lost tonight. You guys want some more good news? Thank you, chatter. Thank you, Chris. Atlanta lost tonight. Didn't know that. So the Atlanta Hawks are 9th seed now. So hopefully things kick into gear and they start losing more games. They should be losing games. I don't know what's going on with them. They should be losing way more games than they're losing currently. So hopefully we make that happen. Yeah, it is unfortunate that Mitch, like, it took this for us to play Biyombo. I don't get it. But maybe the Spurs wanted him to be a little bit more used to, the Spurs team, be around the Spurs team a little bit more. I don't know. There's no benefit to make the playoffs at this point. Not real. I kind of agree. With G-Money. G-Money's a Kings fan, by the way. We're going to make him a Spurs fan, though. I kind of agree with you to an extent. There's no real benefit. Like, sure, a few guys that never made the playoffs can get a little bit of experience, but, I mean, Chris Paul got the experience. De'Aaron Fox got the experience. Harrison Barnes got the experience. Biyombo got the experience, right? It'd really be for Castle, Sohan, and Devin, on which Sohan and Castle are super young anyways. Devin did play in a play-in game, and he played super well in that play-in game. There's no true benefit. There's no true benefit. But we can sit back, we can still cheer, and, even if the Spurs stay where they are, okay, let's say they still be 500, which is a high possibility. If they remain 500, guys, they're still going to be, like, bottom of the West, right? You're going to have to go on a winning streak to move up in this ladder. So more than likely, they'll stay right here, right where we're at. So we'll enjoy some wins, grieve over some losses, but at the end of the day, we'll have a really nice pick. And then hopefully we have the Atlanta Hawks constantly losing so we can get even a better pick from them. Claim the underperforming current Spurs players that are not cutting it needs to play better because they can't rely on Wemby. Okay, who is it on the team? Like, I really want to know this from the chat, okay? I'm not being antagonistic at all. Who on the team that you feel like isn't stepping up to what you expected? Like realistically, right? Like, I feel like Steph Castle coming to the team, we knew he was a poor outside shooter. We know that he's a better shooter than we might expect, or a lot of people expected, but like, no, he's one of the worst shooters in the NBA. I think he's the worst shooter in the NBA. Keldon Johnson, terrible defender, but you're going to get spark plug moments, right? That's what you got this season. Maybe, shooting has been worse than normal, but he's streaky, always has been. Jeremy Sohan, I just expected a gradual improvement, and I think that he's actually blown my expectations, out the water, because I wasn't expecting his field goal percentage to jump 10%, and I wasn't expecting his three-point percentage to jump at all, really. I thought maybe 8%. And I know he's not taking that many threes, so there's that. But overall, all of his statistics have improved. I just don't know Devin Vassell. Okay, but Devin Vassell has always been inconsistent. Harrison Barnes. You expected Harrison Barnes to light the world on fire? I didn't. I mean, he been fine though. Hasn't been like the best, but he's been fine. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know who's on this team that we're really shocked by. I haven't really been shocked by anybody, really. Like, I've wanted Devin Vassell to, obviously be more consistent, but that's like his whole career. And if he's not going to be consistent, I think he is, that just speaks to what he is. He's a third, fourth best player on a team, or scoring talent on a team. Probably end up being 4th after, the draft. And I think that's really great. Like a 4th go-to scorer can be inconsistent. Not everyone has to be like, Steph Curry out there. You know what I mean? Just like we're critical on Keldon, we got to be critical on Vassell. Yeah, but Vassell, there's nothing that Vassell does, at least for me, that I get genuinely upset about. Like I've always thought that he was pretty inconsistent offensively, right? He's a decent defender, plays with a lot of energy, of course, and offensively, if I see him as a 4th best scorer on a team, I'm going to see these inconsistencies. Let's look at his stats. Just out of curiosity. I haven't looked at his stats in a while. All right. So let's see. So he's playing 3 less minutes this season. And with those 3 less minutes, he's averaging 16 points opposed to his 19 points last season. Field goal percentage is way worse. It looks like he's gone back to a couple seasons ago where he was 44%. Now he's still around that 44%. 3-point percentage isn't as best as it has been throughout his career, but it's a couple percentages down from last season. Rebounding's the same. Assists changed, but obviously that's obvious reasons why his assist numbers would change. And then steals, same. Personal fouls, same. Turnovers, the same. Yeah, I guess the field goal percentage is the one where I'm like, yeah, that's not good. 44% is not good. But, I mean, he's just been inconsistent. He's always inconsistent. I feel like you can still get a lot of value from Vassell as long as he is like the 4th best scorer on the team. 3rd or 4th. Vassell is better than his stats show. He's making all of his own shots. Yeah, I would like for his shots to come a little easier, honestly. And one thing about him too, and this is why I think that he's a 3rd or 4th like scorer on a team, probably 4th, is there's too much prying things out of him, right? He doesn't just go out there and aggressive 24/7, or he doesn't go out there with the mindset like I'm going to attack, I'm going to score. And a lot of times, it seems like the coaching staff has to like instill that in him, or his teammates have to instill that in him, like, hey, go get a bucket. Like, we need you to go get a bucket. And players like that are typically good 4th options, 3rd options, but they're not a good 1st or 2nd option, and that's okay. I guess I'm just not that down on Vassell because how talented he actually is, I just want to see this team with more talent around it and then kind of see where he fits. The reason why I get so skeptical of Keldon is because not only is his shooting some of the worst in the NBA, and it's like he's in the category with young players, really young players, as far as how bad his percentages are. But also his defense just hasn't improved, and it's just really bad. So there's like some genuine bad there. I feel like with Vassell, the worst part about him is inconsistent shooting, which if you get a little bit more talent, I don't think it's that much of a problem to be an inconsistent shooter at 3rd or 4th scoring option. I don't know if that's a crazy take or not. I just don't. When you put him in the forefront and you're like, okay, you have to be our best scorer, you have to be our 2nd best, it's going to be pretty ugly sometimes. Inconsistent can kill in the playoffs. Sure. But if you're a 4th option, you don't have to score. Like, it's not like, it's not like Green for us was consistent all of the time. Let's see. See if I can find this. Why is it doing this? All right. Yeah, it's not like Danny Green was a monster all the time, Here, Here, you want to go 2013, but we can go 2014. Let's go 2014 Spurs playoffs. Let's just look at some of these stats. Should I go to 2014 NBA playoff summary, or should I go? I hate how this is set up. Hold on. Let's go back. You can just do it this way. You just pick a random game. All right, so that's the finals. Let's go first. Mavericks. Spurs win by 5. How did Danny Green do? Danny Green had 0 points. And keep in mind, everyone praised Danny Green from 2014 and 2013, but he was inconsistent in 2013 as well. So he has 0 points in the first game. Game 2, 6 points. And I would say Danny Green was our 4th go-to scorer, right? Is that crazy to say? I think he was our 4th. I would say number 1 was Kawhi or Duncan. I don't know. You think it was Duncan or Kawhi? I'll say Duncan. I'll say Duncan, and then Kawhi, and then Tony. No, actually, I would say Duncan, then Kawhi, then Manu, then Tony, then Danny Green. Well, I guess he was our 5th scorer. Maybe we should look at what Tony Parker's stats were. My main point is you just don't have... No, it was 2013. Yeah, I know 2013 was when he really went off. I mean, we can look at that too. My main point is I just don't think you have to be consistently phenomenal all the time offensively, especially if you bring other things to the table. And I think Devin Vassell brings other things to the table. He brings good energy. He's an active defender. He's a good passer, right? He makes good reads. I don't think he has to be like phenomenal scoring wise. Let's see. I forgot we played the Lakers first. Oh, I remember. No, I do remember. I remember. Yeah, so against the Lakers, first game, 6 points. I think everyone's going to remember the finals. Just jump to the finals. Game 1 against the Heat. Let's see how Danny Green did. Had 12 points. Why can't we just, like, go to the second one? Yeah. Game... Oh, okay. Sorry, I was a little confused. Game 2. He had 17 points. He did kill it that game. Let's look at game 3. 27 points. Ooh, he went off. Game 4. 10 points. This isn't consistent performances here. Game 5. 24 points. Game 6. 3 points. And then game 7, which that was just an ugly game. 5 points. It was pretty bad. But there was a lot of factors why the Spurs lost that, obviously. We all know it. Anyways, Devin's communication on defense is a big part of Castle's success defensively when they play together. Yeah, not Danny Green, I'm sorry. Devin Vassell brings a lot to the table. You know? He brings a lot to the table. He doesn't have to give us 30 points a night, you know? It's going to look ugly when he has to be the second option, which that's going to be the case now for this season. But give him another year next season when we have even a better player than him from the draft. Yeah. Make him 4th option. You got a great 4th option there. Like, you got a nasty 4th option, I think. What year is Vassell in? What year is he, guys? 4th? We just looked at his stats. Is he 4th year? Year 5? Yes, 4th? Let's see. You said prime is usually 6 to 8. Yeah, he's like 3 to 4 years off of his prime. Like, he's only 24. Let me see. Let's just go to stats. There we go. He's in his 5th year. This is his 5th year. So he had 4 seasons. Now he's in his 5th. He'll be all right. He's just so talented. I just don't think this is a player that you want to immediately get off of, just because he's inconsistent a little bit from scoring. I just think you can be a little inconsistent when you're a 4th option. Now, if we're going down to the wire and it's like, no, we need you to be the 2nd option, and it's like, no, that's not going to work. Because I think it's very obvious he's not that. But 4th, yeah, that's fine. 1st Wemby, 2nd Fox, 3rd Castle, 4th option can be whomever is in rhythm. Yeah. Devin is so talented. That's why I'm just not as critical, I think. And also, he's 24. You don't need him necessarily. Like, you could make it work in the future if you want it and go a different direction. But, I'm just not that down on him. Just got to put it all in context, Anyways, we'll end it here. So what are my expectations for the rest of the season? I think the Spurs will win 50-50 still. I don't think anything changes in that regard. The rest of our schedule isn't that difficult, right? So I think they can manage to get quite a few of those wins that you might not expect. And at the end of the day, I think we still remain around 12th, 13th seed, and we get a really good pick out of it, right? I don't think the Spurs fully tank. Now once things are completely out of reach and it's set in stone, I could very well see the Spurs just say, all right, Fox, go get your surgery. We're seeing you for the rest of the season. And even if Fox sits, I still think that you could manage to win a couple of those at the tail end there. Not only because there's teams that are tanking, but also I still think the Spurs got quite a bit of talent to make it work. Take some teams off guard, Fox will be shut down after 10 or 50 games. That's what I'm thinking too, Chris. That's what I'm thinking. Anyways, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. It's in the segment. Said tank. Yeah, if that's what you want. We are just too competitive. Clarence Sohan, I think, has similar numbers to Vassell, but Sohan provides really good defense. Sohan has way better numbers than Vassell, efficiency-wise. Sohan's like 53%. Like, he's over 50% from the field. And as far as three-point percentage, Vassell takes more, obviously, so it's not really a great comparison. It's not a good comparison, actually. But, percentage is about the same. Sohan is underrated. Yeah, people just... He doesn't have a beautiful game. He doesn't have a very pretty game, so people underestimate what he brings. They don't pay attention. He did a really great job on Kevin Durant tonight, I think. All right. Okay. All right. So let's jump into this segment. Okay. Big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment as well. So I want to talk about the Wembanyama situation, right? Because it still seems like some people are joining the live stream that are quite scared of the whole situation with the blood clot in his right shoulder. And there's been a lot of misinformation going around regarding this. It's been kind of disgusting, like to the point where I'm genuinely getting quite irritated. So first and foremost, take this as you will. I'm not somebody that gloats about this. I don't jump on social media and talk about it all the time. I don't post anything about this. But I do get sources myself, which are very valid, very good stuff, very good sources. And from what I heard is that while it is serious, right, they don't want to take it lightly, everything's going to be totally fine. Like, they're very optimistic going forward. They caught it early. The Spurs really wanted to check up on him because of the constant shortness of breaths that was going on. And yeah, that's what they found. But they believe that he's going to be completely fine come next season, right? Total recovery and everything. So they're not 100% worried about it. But it's not something that they want to take lightly. Another thing too, a lot of people being super negative, saying, oh my God, it's the Chris Bosh situation. I just saw someone in the chat bring that up. Chris Bosh was definitely later in his career, when that got caught. And also, one thing to keep in mind is, you look at someone like Brandon Ingram, who had a very similar, issue. He recovered from it. He's totally fine. So I just don't want it to be like crazy panic here, right? But people are starting to like speculate where it came from, which is very disgusting to me and starting to irritate me. So we'll start with Fox Sports literally saying something, and then we'll just talk about some of the stuff that I've been seeing around Twitter that's been very bothersome. So this is from Fox Sports, the Jason Smith show, and this is what and what's really frustrating about this as well, I guarantee you they only heard from media, Shams or whatnot, that Wemby has this condition, and then they just ran with their thoughts on it rather than actually talking to anyone about it. But this is what they had to say.
No more Wemby this season. Victor Wembanyama has been shut down by the Spurs.
Oh wait, hold on, got turned up a little bit.
The rest of the season, it was reported that he has deep vein thrombosis in his shoulder, and it's a blood clot basically, and it's treated with blood thinner medications, which means when you treat it with blood thinners, obviously anybody who's ever been
Yeah, thank you. Melissa said Bosh was 31 and the original clot was in his lung.
treated with blood thinners, it's like, hey, listen, you're going to bleed really easily. You got to stay away from physical activity. So with this going on, such pesky things like contact basketball is not recommended. And it's really stunning because the first quotes from the Spurs on this are, we're hopeful he's back to start the season. Mm-hmm. Like, whoa, this is February. That season's end of October, and that
it's going to take several months to make sure that he's all right, he's good to go. That's totally normal. Like they're saying, like the season, we don't have that much of the season left, right? Like it's totally fine for them to say, yeah, he'll be fine come next season. Like we're very hopeful and optimistic that he'll be totally fine next season. Like that makes sense, right? We don't have that many games left. We just got a couple months left of basketball. I mean, like 3 months? Do we have 3 months left of basketball?
Underlies how big a deal this is. Now, I don't want to sit here and say, oh my goodness, the sky is falling, but for Wemby, this is not an injury. This is not, hey, Wemby's got a scapular fracture and he's going to be out, or he's got an adductor strain and likely he's not going to be able to get up and down the floor.
G Money says 6 months. I heard at the very least. That's what I've heard. It's 3 to 6 months. But knowing the Spurs and how they are, it's going to be at least 6 months, right?
Injuries are one thing. This is a condition. Deep vein thrombosis like this is exacerbated depending how tall you are and if you fly a lot, right? Like this is the injury that basically ended Chris Bosh's career.
Yeah, a decade ago.
And Brandon Ingram had it too. He's been able to bounce back. So it's not like this is something that is, this is doom and gloom. He's not going to play again.
Yeah, I mean, he just got a 3 for 120. So, he rallied nicely from his 2019 bout.
Yeah, this is a thing that you have to
6 months just because that's how long you have to be on blood thinners. Yep.
Look and say, how do you manage this for his career when you're in your early 20s and you're worried about deep vein thrombosis and blood?
Will he be able to work out and focus on skills? Let me tell you this: we've noticed that Wembanyama has been off for a minute now, and he still managed to play games, go to the All-Star game, play really well. He'll be totally fine. It's just going to be more well managed, and now that they know what it is, they can better take care of him and his needs. But I have no doubt in my mind that he'll still be able to, focus on his skills, get better, work out. It's just going to be better now, actually, because they can just really monitor him.
Clots. Travel is part of the gig, right? Like that when you're an NBA, when you're an athlete, travel's part of the gig, and especially if you're someone who jets back and forth.
This is way too negative. Yeah, I don't like this is. Don't listen, bro. It's Fox Sports, okay? Like, it's not that big a deal. Do not worry about what they have to say. Like a lot of these outlets just take the situation, take the news, and just run with it and give their own thoughts on it or whatnot. Like, don't worry about it. In house, from what I heard, and now what everyone has heard, and all of you guys have heard, and what I've heard, even outside of what I was already told. Spurs reporters everywhere that's closer to the situation believe that we're going to be all right. All right. I'm eating cereal, Clam. What kind of cereal?
Cross country.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch? That's like the best cereal. I haven't had Cinnamon Toast Crunch in forever because like I'm eating low carb. But like as soon as I get to my weight that I want to get to, that's going to be one of the first things I eat.
For the long flights, any flight longer than 4 hours, they recommend that you do enough to avoid. That's the danger part for blood clots. Like this is now something he's got to manage for his career, and you wonder, are they going to cut down with travel on it? Will he cut back on traveling for road trips, depending how far things are? If the Spurs play international games, this has become.
Okay, now he's talking about next season. Is he going? Okay, so enough of all that. So this is Brian Sutterer. I think that's how you say it. Everyone refers to him when it comes to basketball injuries. Like everyone was just like waiting for him to say something. So he's a sports medicine doctor, big YouTuber. People know of him. And this is what he had to say responding to this Fox Sports radio host. This is horribly inaccurate and harmful speculation. Maybe, I don't know, have an actual medical professional talk about medical things. So he has even said himself that, and he's responding to this quote right here that we just listened to. For Wemby, this is not an injury. This is a condition. Deep vein thrombosis is exacerbated depending on how tall you are and if you fly a lot. So he's basically taking that claim and saying, no, you're full of crap. Shut up. Don't talk about this situation. All right. So here's some other things that I've seen. And I think that this is a joke, but I don't think it's a funny joke. Okay. So this is Jeremy Sohan messing with Wemby last season, in which Wemby tried to throw the ball. He stopped it. And you can see Wemby grab his shoulder like, that hurt, right? And this person, Spurs Nation, said this isn't the smartest thing to do, Jeremy Sohan, right? Whatever. And then reposted it today and said, wait. And there's a lot of people liking it. And if you go to the comments, I won't go through them, but there's quite a few people in the comments saying, oh, yes, Sohan needs to be gone. He needs to be traded. Absolutely ridiculous to even speculate that is what happened. This as well. So shout out to Brian Sutterer for posting this as well. So someone said, this injury might have caused the blood clot on Victor Wembanyama's shoulder, maybe. And, that's G.G. Jackson, right? Like, followed on Wemby, and he's just said no. So there's that. A few things I just don't like. So these are Kings fans. Shout out to G Money in the chat. I know you're a Kings fan, bro. You need an answer for your people. What is this? So I was genuinely confused by this post. So this person says that's what De'Aaron Fox get for leaving the Kings. This person like, I'm rolling, chasing stars instead of being a star. I actually didn't know what they were referring to, but they're laughing because Wemby got injured, and they're like, this is what psychotic. Yeah, G Money. Wow, G Money. These are your people. You need to be a Spurs fan, my boy. These are your people. These your peeps. These are his people. Yeah, man. You need to just be a Spurs fan. You need to get away from this. This is super toxic. This is super toxic. That's awful. Anyways. We also have Skip Bayless, which I actually didn't read this. You guys told me to bring this up. But Skip Bayless, this announced Wemby injury is just strange. You have to wonder if the Spurs just decide to shut him down with 30 games left, with the team just 23-29, 1-2 out of play-in. I actually don't know what that means. Maybe I'm just stupid. 3-1. I don't know. Just to eliminate unnecessary wear and tear on a still fragile 21-year-old body. What are we talking about? No. Don't copyright claim me. I cannot stop the thing. Dude, I got to make it like a GIF or something. Anyways, thanks for the super chat, Larry. He says, do us all a favor. Grab a pillow and scream into it. What the actual F? Keep doing your thing, fam. All love. We're winning the chip. Maybe next year. Oh, Larry finally got off of the whole we're winning the chip this year thing. That's sad. That's actually sad. Yeah, Skip, I don't know what he's going on about. Spurs wouldn't. If the Spurs were going to shut down Wemby, I said this before, if they were going to shut down Wemby, and it had nothing to do with illness or whatever, then they would have waited till he got to the 65 games, right? Like they just would have waited for that. So nothing there, nothing crazy there. So speaking of Brian Sutterer, I do want to go over this segment. Shout out to Josh Paredes for posting some of the bullet points of what he had to say about the injury. So I definitely want to go over this. But before we do, really quick, you guys know we got to talk about BetUS. Clan Skip Bayless is getting old and just being decrepit. He has been awful. He has genuinely been awful, right? Like all the toxicity that he's brung over the years is starting to catch up to him, and now he's nothing but toxicity. I don't think there's one positive thing that comes out of his mouth, right? And then all those allegations about paying that woman money to sleep with them. It's a lot going on with Skip. Anyways, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. If you guys are interested whatsoever, a lot of us are talking about Cooper Flagg coming to the San Antonio Spurs. If you think that that's a possibility, maybe you can head on over to BetUS, use promo code YouTube150. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. And they also have casino, if that's something that you're interested in as well. So check that out if you're into it. But as far as the Spurs' chances for getting our boy Coop, pretty decent. Better than most. So if you do 15, that is $270. So all you would do is hit the money line here, put your wrist there, place your bet, and then confirm it with that bad boy. So let's go ahead and confirm that 15 USD, and you'll win 270 if that were to happen. But anyways, back to what we were looking at. So here we go. Let's listen to Brian Sutterer on this situation. And maybe speed it up a little bit. Oops, that's going to be way too fast. Let's do 1.25. Hopefully that makes you feel good, okay? Hopefully that makes you feel good, is that you literally just can't do it while you're on blood thinners, okay? Too low. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry, guys. I didn't realize how low it was. Sorry. Wait, let's do it again.
That blood clot can embolize, which means move, and if it moves, the next thing in line is going to be the heart, and then it can go to the lung, so it can be deadly. Now, with prompt medical attention and treatment, this should not be deadly. The blood clot should be treated, resolved, and no emboli are going to...
Dragon Ball going to be lit tomorrow? This is so off. I should not have done this. Why did I just jump in the middle of this segment to talk about this? Yes, Dragon Ball is going to be amazing. I have to catch up. I saw some of the spoilers for tomorrow. Mind blown. And then we have a Rivals update. Friday's going to be a good day.
Going to get thrown or clots get thrown off to the heart, but this is great that they caught this because this can be a challenging diagnosis. It's a very rare diagnosis, so absolute props to the Spurs medical staff for catching this before it caused any significant other complications. But more commonly, you're just going to be put on blood thinners. And the reason that Wembanyama can't continue playing is because basketball is enough of a contact sport that you cannot safely compete when you're taking blood thinners because of the risk of other trauma, injuries to the head, etc. And oftentimes it's blood thinners for about 3 to 6 months, hence why he's going to be out for the rest of the season. And we've seen with Brandon Ingram, he's come back, he's had a great career, no issues, and I would hopefully expect the same for Victor Wembanyama. Think of this as something that happens most often to repetitive overhead athletes. The repetitive shooting motion can cause trauma in that blood vessel, potentially some compression from nearby anatomic structures. Over time, that causes a clot to develop within that vein. The clot develops, blood can't...
So basically, he's just playing too hard. He's taking too many shots a day. He's Kobe. He's basically just Kobe. That's what I got from this. Don't tell me otherwise.
Get back from the arm up in, so you get swelling, pain. Thankfully, in his case, it doesn't sound like the clot moved or embolized into the lungs, but to treat this, you're often going to be put on blood thinners, which restricts your play, and typically undergo a surgery for decompression of this whole thoracic outlet space to remove that external compressive force on the blood vessels.
All right, there we go. I didn't hear Ish. I just played it. You didn't hear it? Or you meant before you didn't hear anything, Huncho? Anyways, needs to lower his 3-point shooting volume, I guess. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. So will this affect the way he plays forever? I don't think so. At least from what I heard, it shouldn't. It should be totally fine. You know? It'll be all right. Something to monitor, but it will be all right. So, like he said, this is something that happens over time, right? And we know Wemby has done a lot even early in his career, right? Even as a teenager, he's done so much as far as taking a team that had nothing and, you know, making them a true competitor. So he's done a lot in his early career. But one thing that he said, and the reason why he was pushing back on some of these silly notions, like this one in particular, is that this isn't something that happens from one singular event, right? This is something that happens over time. And like he said, this happens with athletes. This can happen with athletes. While it's still pretty rare, it happens with athletes more often than not.
And typically,
oh, crap.
undergo it.
Sorry. Yeah, it happens with athletes more often than you would expect. Not more often than not, but more often than you would expect. He's going to have so much dog and hunger next season. He is going to be fine. My main thing from all of this, there's nothing that I've heard personally that I think are really good sources. I don't think they are really good sources. And there's nothing that I heard outside of that makes me believe that we should be like completely worried and like, oh my God, this is going to end his career. I'm not worried about it at all. Everything that we've heard thus far seems to be the Spurs got it underhand. We're going to handle it. He'll be fine. And it's good that we caught it now, right? That's the main thing. So no France games this year, right? No, it shouldn't be. Here. What year are we in? 2025, the great year of 2025. It hasn't been a great year so far, but let's see. No, he shouldn't play at all. Here, let's bring up a calendar just to have some fun here. This is a colorful one. I like this. All right, so it started this year, and we know it's going to be 6 months, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he's not playing overseas. That's not going to happen. It's usually, like I said, it's 3 to 6 months. But knowing the Spurs, they're going to emphasize you're doing those 6 months, right? So 6 months, no. I think that it would have started in, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it would have started in June to July. I think that's when that would have started. Some people told me it wouldn't start right after this season. It would start like a month after that. So we're good to go. Yeah, he's not playing. So I wanted him to have a true offseason. Not like this. But at the end of the day, don't be worried. I think we're okay. Bottom line, Clan is it was caught and is being addressed. A tragedy has been avoided. God bless you, Wemby. Yeah, don't worry about it. Sorry, France. Yeah, sorry, France. Anyone who pounces on someone because of an illness are not in their right mind. Oh, you're talking. Okay. Oh, wait. G Money just showed up. Okay. G Money said, my bad, my phone died. But as far as the Kings fans, not all fans are created equal. Some just say stupid stuff. Well, Spurs fans have like really bad takes as well. Like, don't get me wrong. But yeah. Some crazy people over there. Maybe you should be a Spurs fan, man. We'll accept you too. I'm not one of those people that say you can't leave your team. You can leave your team as long as you come to mine. Have we looked into what Brandon Ingram's treatment comeback for the same condition looked like? No, I haven't. Let's see. He had surgery to remove his, apparently. And, you know, and a lot of times when it comes down to illnesses as well, not all are the exact same, right? Like your cold versus someone else's cold could be completely different depending on the person. Not a doctor, I'm just saying. Let's see. Frequently accompanied by swelling and pain in a limb. The condition usually occurs in legs, but can occur in the upper body. Blood clots have affected several prominent athletes, including Chris Bosh and Serena Williams in recent years. Bosh recently retired due to blood clotting issues, and we know his was in the lungs. Yeah, they didn't really give us a breakdown what it looked like, but it looked like he had surgery. But we're fine. Spurs medical staff is great. He'll be okay. I don't think we can compare the two cases. It's very difficult to just compare two, like, right off the bat, right? The most important, like the chatter said earlier, the most important thing, they caught it early. The Spurs are optimistic. I heard that they're optimistic. Spurs reporters now are out, like, they're optimistic. Nothing to really worry about right now. You know, let's just keep it moving, okay? Future is still very bright. Just add some more talent to this team and keep it rolling. We weren't going to do much this season anyways. So, there's that. Anyways, enough of that. Just wanted to break it down to you, show you, you know, some accurate information from our boy Brian Sutterer here, and also look at some of the misinformation that's been making its rounds around, you know, Spurs spaces. So, don't be too gloom about this, okay? We have we're Spurs fans, okay? We have other players on the team that we can watch. It's not just about Wemby. We have other players that need to improve. We have Sohan who's improving. We need to see Fox, you know, take on the Spurs culture and start to be one of our main guys, right? We need to see Devin Vassell hopefully be a little bit more consistent, but I don't think it's 100% necessary. But you know, we're all right. We got other players that are Spurs players that are going to be important for the future as well. So let's not hyper fixate on the Wemby situation. He'll be okay. Next man up. Let's enjoy the rest of the season. Nothing changes. I don't know if what Usar had is the same thing, but he had blood clots and seems to be doing fine now. Oh yeah, people brought that up too. Clan, we keep it positive. Yes, sir. You know, we keep it positive until there's a reason not to. There's no reason not to keep it positive. Ton of media outlets sensationalizing. Thanks for having a sober take. Yeah, they're going to sensationalize it. That's just what they're going to do. How could you not, right? I guess I just get a little irritated when it's like completely misinformed. Because like I said, I hear what I hear. But then also it's good to make sure that people that know what they're talking about talk about it as well. And I feel like we all have enough information now that there's no reason we should really be down and gloom about it. And we definitely shouldn't be because Fox Sports Radio says something, you know? Bro, the Twitter docs made it sound like Wemby died. Bro, I saw someone post like, "Gonna miss you, Wemby." And it was literally like a slideshow. It was a slideshow of Wembanyama moments. And I'm like, what are we doing with sad music in the background? What are we doing? It's playing Boys to Men. What's going on, man? Anyways, it's the end segment. Big shout out to BetUS sponsoring this segment. Yeah, See You Again in the background. Terrible. I Will Remember You song. Yeah, it's terrible. Anyways. All right, so it was something else I wanted to go over. Did I have it up already? I must not have had it up. Hold on, give me a second. Was it this? Okay. All right, so I want to give my thoughts about this. So we got two things to go over, okay? First and foremost, this segment from SportsCenter about Wembanyama 65 game limit, yada, yada, yada. And also, I wanted to take a look at what Chris Paul had to say regarding the Wembanyama situation. So that's just a 30-second clip. So let's start with this. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. I have no idea. Maybe we'll have to stop it a few times.
65 game limit before you get an award. The fact that Victor Wembanyama is not going to be defensive player of the year this year when he was clearly the best defensive player, and he's punished for having blood clots for something that is, you know.
All right, so you get the sentiment. So basically what he's saying is you shouldn't be, because he has blood clots and everyone knows that he's defensive player of the year, he should still get defensive player of the year if he didn't reach those 65 games. So obviously we all understood why the NBA implemented this. I've been saying this so many times though, like I really think that the NBA needs to look at, and this is like everything, this is all aspects of life, I think. But if you want to change behavior in people and change behavior in teams, I think you have to incentivize them rather than just punishing all the time, right? Like incentivizing as in, I don't know, trying to make sure that the schedules are a little bit better, or maybe making it less games a season. It will be more exciting that way anyways. But the NBA is like, nah, we make too much money that way, so let's implement a tournament and let's make it where you have to play 65 games if you want your reward, and let's make sure we put a tournament in the All-Star game. And like they do all these weird things rather than doing the thing that I think would make it easier and make it better overall, right? And I think limiting the amount of games some of these teams play would be better, just a better product overall for us. That's my take. A lot of people don't agree with that. That's fine. But I think it would limit a lot of these back-to-backs. I think it would limit, at times, especially early in the season, it doesn't seem like teams are playing that hard, right? Sometimes. And it's because in the NBA, you see how close things are even right now. You can kind of pick it up after All-Star break. But those seasons that there was like a protest amongst players and they didn't play for a while, like those few seasons I remember, at least through my life watching basketball, were some of the best seasons. When they came back, it was some of the best seasons, some of the most fun seasons. Not the COVID season, that wasn't fun. But other than that, it was pretty fun, right? Pretty fun. But yeah, I think 82, nearly 100 games. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's too many games, right? So I think that would actually help. But instead, the NBA constantly puts these like weird rules and things in there so they don't lose any money while also trying to push players in a certain direction, which I think you can do that in a positive way and it'll just naturally happen, right? Too many times, people try to put rules in place that don't actually help at the end of the day, You just got to kind of nudge people in a positive direction and it's just going to naturally occur, right? If you limit the amount of games that teams play, more players are going to play. More games are important. You get a little bit more rest in between games. I just think it's a better product overall. That's me. It's fine. You can disagree. Whatever. So I guess the question here is it unfair for Victor Wembanyama to not win Defensive Player of the Year? Unfortunately, I don't think that it's unfair, right? Obviously it's not his fault. It's out of his control. But just like any injury, a lot of times it's out of the player's control, and you could just very well not get that injury. Being Defensive Player of the Year does mean that you were Defensive Player of the entire year. He's obviously the Defensive Player of the Year, but I think they screwed him over his first year. Okay, that's why I hate when you miss out on opportunities to actually give guys awards when they deserve it. And I'm like, okay, we got to wait till next year. BS. He should have already had one, and maybe we wouldn't be as upset about it. So I think it sucks, but that's the rule that they implemented now. I don't think that is necessarily unfair, right? Just because it was something out of his control. You know what I mean? How do you guys feel about it? Not unfair, got to reward availability no matter the circumstance. Yeah. I don't like the 65 game limit. I think we should just have an overall 65 game limit. Just limit the games we play to 65, and you'll get guys playing most of the season anyway. But it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. Agree? Yeah. Wemby robbed twice. Wemby robbed once. Second time, I mean, not much you can do about it. So, yeah, I think this take is a little strange. Let me see what some of the people have to say, because this is on a Josh Paredes post, so it's going to be a lot of Spurs fans. Gotta play, or whatever wins it is rewarded for playing, or whoever wins it is rewarded for playing. Bad take. Okay, so most Spurs fans agree, it looks like. Gotta play the game, dude. Availability is a skill. The F is he talking about? Season isn't over yet. Out in mid-February, Eagles can't win. Maybe if he ends the season leading in blocks. No mercy for Clotty? I have no idea what this even means. I'll be honest with you. The end part makes me think that he's being a bad person, though. But I'm not. I have no idea. Play on 1 minute a game for the next 8 games or whatever it is. So that doesn't work. They made it where you can't do that. I think you have to average, 20 guys? 20 minutes a game or something. So the Spurs couldn't just put him in for a minute and then... And obviously don't do that. Don't risk his health over just a award. He has a long career ahead of him. 20 minutes? Yeah. That would be silly to do that. Guys don't deserve awards for playing half a season. It's unfortunate injuries happen, but the game limit is a good rule. Rewarding players that are playing majority of the season will only benefit the league. I say maybe lower it to 60 games at the lowest. Yeah, I think that's fine. But you guys know what I said. I just think limiting the games overall from 82 down to the 60s would make it easier too. And then you could still implement that rule and still make them play at least 50 or 45 to 50, and I think that's cool. They're gonna play that anyways, so you might not have to have that limit. But Clan, if both of our first round picks end up being outside the top 10, would you want to package them to move up in the draft? It's a pretty deep draft, and I don't think that's going to happen. I really do believe that the Hawks are about to go on a mean losing streak. So before we look at the Chris Paul stuff, let's look at the Hawks. We already looked at the Spurs. I think we're going to win more games than we expect. But the Hawks, pretty sure the rest of their season is pretty tough. Let's see. All things considered. Yeah, so loss against the Magic. We expect them to lose against the Magic. Pistons should be a tough one for them. Pistons' record isn't great, but they are like 6th in the East. Heat, they should lose that one. Hopefully they lose that one. Thunder, Memphis, Bucks. They got the Pacers. What's their record? 31-23. So, yeah, they got to deal with the Pacers twice. Sixers? Where are the Sixers right now? I haven't kept up with them. They're 11. So they're on pace with the same, even competition with the 76ers. Hornets, Hawks should beat the Hornets. Clippers, going to be tough. Nets, still on pace with them. So every single matchup they have are either games that are the same talent level as the Hawks, or they're just a better team, a superior team to the Hawks. So they have a pretty tough rest of their season. Jazz is one that should be not that difficult. But other than that, these are some battle it out games, right? So they're going to lose quite a bit. The first half of the season, I don't think was as difficult as what they're about to get now. Let's see. Yeah, they had some pretty tough ones in there, but yeah, for the most part, let's see. Yeah, one of these weeks looked like they had the Wizards 3 times in a couple weeks. They had the Hornets, Lakers, Nuggets would have been tough, and they lost to that one. But yeah, anyways, rest of their season is going to be pretty tough, so I'm not really worried. Hawks about to get steamrolled. That's what I think. All right, let's take a look at what our boy had to say. Let's see. All right, Chris Paul, break it down.
First and foremost, I think everybody understands that You know, basketball is what we do, not who we are. You know, so life and everything is so much more important. But for us, we know losing a big part of our team like that is by committee. You know, and trust me, you can't replace Vic. You know, I can't stand on a guy's shoulders and block every shot that comes to the rim. You know, and aside from his basketball ability, his charisma and what he brings into the locker room, I think is what we'll miss the most.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna miss Wemby. Obviously, you can't replicate what he brings on the court. But like I said, I still think the Spurs win more than we expect. Playoffs, that's a wash, right? My overall thoughts about us getting to 44 wins, kind of a wash at this point. I don't think that we make it there. Still think we could possibly make it to 40, though. Still think that that's possible. Gonna miss Alien Riz. We are gonna miss Alien Riz for sure. Chris let out his anger on Durant today. Yeah. But yeah, really good message. Just basically saying, hey, you know, basketball isn't who you are. You know, it's just what you do. And everything, you know, they're going to have to adjust, which we end up seeing after this. They adjusted pretty well. Honestly, you know what, for funsies? We'll end it on this. I want to see what Brian Wright had to say. Did he talk after this game? I want to see a post game of Brian Wright. All right, we'll listen to some of this.
Overall, how did you think your team responded to what was otherwise, you know, a tough beginning to the day, at least with the news that you got?
Yeah, I thought they responded how we expected them to. Thought we had a lot of professional guys that were up to the challenge. And very, very pleased with the effort and competitiveness.
Y'all heard the "Let's Go Phoenix" chants? I was not paying attention to the crowd this game.
And the togetherness.
You guys were, I think, focused on defense coming out of the break. Did you see some of that come to fruition tonight?
We did. I thought our physicality and resistance was at an appropriate level. Thought our communication was better. Had a few mishaps, had a couple stretches where it could have been, but again, that is a powerful offensive team. So there's it's going to be a lot to ask to shut them off for 48 minutes. Thought we did a really good job, especially when it mattered the most, and just a team effort all around.
Something Chris spoke about earlier was that when the team is on the court, it kind of helps them take their mind off of everything. Did you see those spurts tonight? You know, them just
I'm a little bored by this. Let's skip around a little bit. See what another question is.
Just the job that the guys did, particularly Jeremy on KD. What did you think of the way he kind of hung in there?
There we go. How did Jeremy Sohan do on KD? You know, if you're a casual, you think that he has bad games all the time. That's not true. Good defender.
I thought he was tremendous. I thought he was maniacally competitive and fighting him for
maniacally competitive.
every inch while also being disciplined, which is extremely hard when you're playing somebody of that caliber, one of the best offensive players the game's ever seen.
There was kind of some testing that some German didn't seem to be involved. That seems to be a different game.
Yeah, I think it was just for play. I don't think anybody was too serious. But yeah, it's funny when he's out there and he's the calm, cool head. But we'll take it.
Did Diabo earn a little more time?
Is that Carolina? She's trying to get a question in.
I'm here.
He was a complete professional. He was an adult. He set a tone to start the game, and he was excellent.
It seemed like in the first few minutes he set like a million screens. As a coach, watching a guy do the little things like that, does that kind of get you jacked up? Like, what did you take from this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been something that we have been looking for throughout the season of screening, pressure on the rim with rolling, and rebounding. And he did those things in spades.
Bismack got to get a contract now. There's no choice. Yeah, for sure.
And he's been doing those things for many years. And so even when you get a guy, you know, off the couch technically like that, when he has his business card and he's been doing it for a long time, you aren't too surprised, even though he's been out.
On board.
Yeah, the bench was great. Julian.
Momentum swing plays, it felt like. What did you
that's about the bench. I don't
mention that.
Game in a while.
Yeah, I thought he was great. Again, those guys have it's tough sometimes when you're used to playing minutes and then you play less minutes. And all those guys that we're talking about right now has had that happen to them recently.
Oh, you got Aura.
And number 2 in steals of all time. He's mentioned a couple of years back that he's always trying to chase the next big goal or the next big moment. But if you could slow time down right now for this moment and what it should mean to him, what would you say to him for that accomplishment?
You know, Chris has had so many accomplishments and milestones, and we've been a part of a few this year.
It's tough listening to your coach. Yeah.
Lucky to, live those through with him, and he's just been a tremendous example for our young guys. He's been a tremendous player, and tonight he was,
just talking about Chris Paul. I guess there's really not much you can take from this, right?
The amazing amount of Suns fans we had in the audience tonight.
Yeah.
We love Austin. I mean, it's right down the road.
No one cares.
When you see a guy of that caliber taking over, do you just sort of let him cook? Does it,
Do you just let him cook?
What are you doing as a coach?
It's my Fox.
Yeah, I think he does such a good job. And when you see him and Chris and those guys also still put the spacing behind it, the nuance.
I'm bored. I could have answered all these questions. I'm back. Hey, Victor Wembanyama. Anyways, enough of that. Good stuff. We're going to be fine. That's what I want this takeaway to be. Everything's okay. Everything's good. As far as Victor not winning Defensive Player of the Year, it is what it is. It's okay. It's all right. It just is the rules. I would like for the rules to be different. Or rather, I guess this isn't a rule, but just have less games. I think that'll be better. Instead of trying to add in all these artificial things. Like, don't get me wrong, the in-season tournament is all right, but it's artificial, right? Like let's add that in to keep guys competitive. When in actuality, the best possible outcome for that will be consumer friendly, but not your pocket friendly, would be limit the games. I think that actually is consumer friendly. We would get more competitive games. Each game would mean more. Guys would have even longer off seasons, probably, maybe, or maybe not. Games would be a little bit more spread out, so it'd be a little more special. It would just be better. It would just be better. But, we don't want to do that. We want to make our money. You say it all comes down to greed and money. Well, it's obviously greed and money after that All-Star weekend. My God, the amount of advertisements in that weekend was horrible. So it's all money and greed, and that's what they're trying to do. But, if it was actually consumer-friendly and player-friendly, you would limit the games, and they would be better. It would be better. Doctor says I'm all good. Thanks, Vic. Thank you, Victor Wembanyama. Players don't want to take a cut. Would they take a cut? I guess so. I guess they would. Cash rules everything around me. Yeah. You hear that, Clan? Vic's all good. Yeah, I heard it. I read it. Yeah, he's good. Thanks for joining the chat, Vic. You probably should be worried more about your recovery right now. I don't know why you're on here, but thank you for coming through. You gotta make Victor Wembanyama a mod. Check my comments up top. Check my comment up top. Vic, we miss you, bro. Lower ticket prices, merch, and League Pass. There you go. Make League Pass better. It just kind of sucks. It's too expensive. So yeah, lower ticket prices, merch, and League Pass. You get like, it's just so frustrating because the NBA is always complaining about stuff when it's like you're helping create the problem. Like you're creating the problem. You're like, oh, everything's down right now. Like our viewership is down right now because everyone's going to Stream East. They don't want to sit here and pay all this money for League Pass that doesn't even work half the time. And just saying like, well, players aren't competitive. It's like you always got to put it on the players, right? And you do the All-Star weekend and the players are competing fairly well, and you're like, they don't compete hard enough. But then you invite Kevin Hart there to just do some weird commentary over the mic? How are any of the players going to take it serious when they have Kevin Hart cracking jokes at them every possession? What are you doing? It was so awkward, man. Just full of it. Just completely full of it. That event just seems so janky, you know? Ugh. Victor Wembanyama says Kevin Hart gave me blood clots. I believe it. Kevin Hart really milked that All-Star game. It was ridiculous. It was like way too much, bro. It was way too much. And I've seen Kevin Hart like on his game, but that's way too much Kevin Hart, and it just wasn't funny. It was just way too much. The commissioner is kind of ruining or running the league sideways the past couple of years. Yeah. It's just, man, the best solutions are ones that might hurt your pocket short term. But I think people will appreciate it. Your viewership will go up. You'll still make your money. You'll be fine. I promise you guys that the owners, the commissioner, the players, the coaches, they will be able to survive and have meals every day if you limit the games down to 65. I promise you. If you limit League Pass and how much it costs, they will still be able to provide for their families. I promise you. I promise you. Okay? Gosh, we pay for so many streaming platforms already. You know, they need to make that thing more convenient. These are billionaires. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll be able to afford their 5-star steak every night. Still. In their private jets. I'm pretty sure they'll still be able to afford those things. They'll survive. They'll be totally fine. Clan, we should have designated days like NFL has Sunday, college football has Saturday, as NBA should do every Friday, and some other days if we shorten the schedule. Thoughts? No, that would be cool. Like NBA Fridays, like that's the big games. And then, yeah, like maybe like 2 or 3, maybe like 2 more throughout the week. I think that's fine. I think that works. Best basketball is playoff basketball. It really is. Shorter preseason, shorter season, and longer playoffs. That would be cool. Yeah. Anyways, Clan, you're one of the best Spurs YouTubers. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks, 01. All right, in a segment. You said one of the best? Ooh. You guys about to fight. Yeah. Anyways. But my takeaway overall, don't worry too much. Okay? That's my takeaway. My takeaway is don't worry too much on the Victor Wembanyama situation. Okay? Next man up. He'll be totally fine. We have lots of information indicating that he will be okay. Don't go and just listen to First Take or listen to Fox Sports and what they have to say when they just got the information like the rest of us. Everything is going to be fine regarding what the Spurs have said, regarding what doctors have said, regarding even what I've heard personally. Everything's all right, and we'll be good come next season. For now, you know, there's more people on the team than just Wemby. We got to cheer for our team at the end of the day, okay? There's other players that can improve. There's other players that's part of the future, and we still have a very bright future. And let's just be happy that we were able to see so much Wemby this season. But it was pretty obvious that he was a little out of whack near the end of this thing. But we'll be okay. We're still good to go. Not much was going to come out of this season anyways. Cheer for Steph Castle. Exactly. Cheer for Steph Castle. Cheer for Steph Castle. Cheer for Steph Castle. And also, just being honest, I don't think that it's unfair for Vic not to win Defensive Player of the Year. I don't. I really wish that the NBA would just come in. I know they don't want to do this because they're money, right? They just make so much money, and they just need all that money. Money runs everything. But, you know, it'd be nice if they just limited the amount of games that people played to begin with, instead of putting all these weird stipulations on everything or creating in-season tournaments just to keep things interesting. Can we just stop doing that? Stop doing all of that. Just limit the amount of games each season, and I think that more players will play because each game means more, right? You don't have to you have to play at least 65 games. Most of the time, players that won these awards were around that 65 mark anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. But at the end of the day, when you actually put a number on it and you're actively trying to punish players that don't hit it, it's just a dang bad product. That's all. Anyways, Victor, we support you. Whoever you like. I don't get what just happened there. What are we talking about? The defense player of the year now that Wemby's out. Check the odds. I'm pretty sure it's taken down now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's taken down now. It's like no way for him to win it. Real Wemby sleeping to Inya right now on his space phone bed. Vic up reading some Zoo Art of War or something. You guys heard about that that Chinese animated movie that's about to make like $2 billion? I hate that I've never heard of it and I want to watch it. I might have to find it and watch the first one. But it's the second one. It's making like a lot of money. I have not seen it at all. It's kind of weird how we don't hear about it at all in the States. You watch Solo Leveling? I have not watched Solo Leveling. But I have gotten out of good news. I have gotten out of the Thriller Bark art of One Piece. Good God, that was horrible. And I watched Companion. I think somebody mentioned to see Companion. I did watch Companion. I liked it okay. It felt like a Black Mirror episode, which is cool. Naruto? I haven't watched Naruto, believe it or not. Yeah, I haven't watched Naruto. Naruto and Bleach. I used to watch Bleach a little bit. I was very confused by it as a kid. So, yeah. But I haven't watched Bleach all the way through either. Started episode 922. F it. Of what? Of One Piece? Bleach is really good. Okay, I need to get on Bleach then. Silo on Apple TV? The only thing on Apple TV I've ever watched is Severance, and I haven't even finished it. Didn't even watch that trash game, just bits and pieces. They should win tomorrow, but the Pistons might kill them without Wemby. It was a good game today. You should have watched it. It was a good game. It wasn't a bad game today. It was a fun game. Did you watch Invincible? No, I'm gonna watch the new season. Start the new season soon, like in the next couple days. Yeah, I'm gonna start in the next couple days for sure. This. So I'm gonna mention it again. Follow me on Letterboxd. So I post all of the movies that I watched recently. Like I give a super small review. But just follow me on here. We're 61 followers now. Like I said, recently I watched Companion and I enjoyed it. And yeah, so please follow me over there. Recent movies I've seen is Companion, Nomadland, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Oh my God, this movie was incredible. But yeah, guys, check it out. My name is Clan the Film Fan. And if you want some recommendations on what you should watch, literally go to my profile, go to lists, and I have one right here, Amazing Films Who Won't Waste Your Time. And I add some of the greatest films I've watched, some of the greatest films I've seen. So please head on over there, check it out. But I'm very proud of this top 10 list. I'll be real with you. Memories of Matsuko. Oh my God. So good. So good. If you can find it. It's kind of hard to find this movie for some reason. But yeah, check out my list. You'll like it. Actresses. Oh, Rebecca Ferguson is one of my top favorite actresses. I love Frances McDermott. You watched Conclave? It was pretty good. No, I haven't watched Conclave yet. Is that John Q? Oh, no, I haven't. I don't think I've seen this movie. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this Denzel movie. Have I seen this movie? John Quincy. Who plays in this? James Woods, Robert Duvall, Kevin Conley, Eddie Griffin. Maybe have I seen this? I'm gonna put on a watch list. I'll check it out. There's no way I haven't seen this, right? Add to your watch list? Yeah. You just made the list? Made the list a while ago. But I'm constantly adding stuff to it, so. Right now we got like 125 films on here. Like I'm constantly adding to it when I see something new. Like for instance, I watched Baby Assassins. That made the list. The third movie made the list. I like First Reformed. Substance is on here. Disaster Artist. Good Time. Heretic. Burning. I Saw the TV Glow. Some pretty good movies. Some interesting movies. Maybe you pull up a trailer you remember. I'll just put it on my watch list. I'll go into it blind. I like to go into movies blind if I can. No Lord of the Rings in there. Oh, I have to finish Lord of the Rings. So I know that's going to sound really bad. I'm sorry. I've seen the first two. I have to watch the third one before I can add that on there. You know it's hard out here for a pimp? Yeah. Hustle and Flow's on here. I guess you saw it on the other. Yeah, you probably saw it on the other one. Other page. Porky's, 1981. Never seen this. Bob Clark. Okay. Gotcha. Are you watching the extended cut of Lord of the Rings? I don't think so. I was just watching what was ever on Max. I don't think that's the extended cut. Clan, what were you doing when you heard the news? I think I was on Rivals. Or I was in my email. I don't remember. Talking about Wemby? It's alright, man. Seeing Kingdom of Heaven? No. ...2005 Ridley Scott film. Have not seen this. Oh, Liam Neeson's in it. All right, add it to my watch list. Gran Torino was good too. I've seen that. I don't want to rate it because I haven't. It's been so long. I'm not gonna mess with it. But anyways, follow me. Clan the Film Fan on Letterboxd. Just download the app Letterboxd, or just, it's not sponsored or anything, but or just go to the website and follow Clan the Film Fan. Trying to get as many people on there as possible. Once I get to 100, I'll feel really good. Anyways, I'll get with you guys later. I'm about to hop off. Everyone have a good night. Everything's going to be fine. San Antonio Spurs play... When do we play again? You guys might answer that before I see it. We play today? Is this a back-to-back? Okay. We literally play today? Alright, well, I'll see you guys tonight then. Didn't realize that. Yep. Oh, I did not realize that. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. I guess a couple of the segments from tonight, we'll just upload those on Saturday? Saturday and Sunday? G-Money knows our team schedule. G-Money is about to become a Spurs fan. That's what's about to happen. He's going to realize that the Spurs community is much better than the Kings community, okay? And once you get into this community, you're going to have to bring your Kings fans over, all right? We're going to all celebrate the Spurs because we're going to be winning championships pretty soon. So you're here at a good time. Parlays? Nah, don't lie. Server shut down in 30 minutes for your information. Rivals? You're not talking about Rivals, are you? Wait, Colton, are you Colty? Are you Colty? And how long are they shut down? Trying to make sure you're cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. Dude, you're a really good Doctor Strange. You made it easy for me to just do my job. That's me. Yeah, you're a good Doctor Strange. I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna play. But I do want that update to kick in, so I'll probably just do some quick plays or something. But yeah, you're a good Doctor Strange, man. I think some of your ults was like, I can tell that you solo queue because some of your ults was like very much so I'll do it myself. Like I'm going in, I'm going to do my ult and I'll get some kills myself. But playing with me and the person I was playing with, my cousin, he's like my second cousin. I actually don't know him super well. We just like got tight recently. But he's really good too. He's a good DPS. He's a pretty good tank too, if we ever need him run tank. But yeah, playing with us, like you can definitely set it up better and it'll be totally fine. But I caught it a few times. Like when I saw you doing it, I caught it a few times so I can come in and help. So that was good. Hello, yeah. Yeah, I could tell you solo queue. It's like that though. Do you think that the thing is going to be better than Cap Clan? I think the thing seems very vulnerable, like that he could get hurt really quickly because he only has like 700 health. I think Cap technically has about 1,000 or over 1,000. So I don't know. But one thing about Cap is they're adding a bunch, bro. Like, that's why I don't even want to do any competitive for this next 30 minutes because they're adding so much to him. He's going to be so good. I lost so many games in a row doing solo queue recently because people don't know how to play with Cap. And they blame you for everything. But he's about to get way better. I'm excited for the Cap buff. They ain't killing me in the air no more. Yeah, you get to block in the air. They adding it where, from my understanding, you can just brawl whenever you want, so you're not automatically throwing your shield every time after 2 punches. I hate that so much because a lot of times I just want to chase people down and not use my shield throws. I only want to use them so you can activate it and then use it later because I only want to use it if they get away. I don't want to just use it, you know. Also, it's going to be way easier to get your ult, which people aren't talking about this, but I think, okay, I'm nerding out. I think that actually makes Cap even better because now that there's a nerf to support ults of your supports, having a Cap on your team is actually really beneficial because he can get his ult very quickly and give the team bonus health, right? So while you nerfed all the supports, that makes Cap even more viable in the new meta because he can get his ult way quicker and his ult helps the team. Like, it gives them extra, you know, shield so they don't die instantly. It's a good defense ult. I mean, you can use it in different circumstances. If I'm really feeling myself and my team is doing their thing and we're doing well, and, you know, I really just want to distract the enemy team for the win, I'll jump all the way in, dive as deep as I possibly can, distract them, and when they think I'm getting ready to die, use my ult. So much fun. 1,000 IQ Marvel rivals analyzing their clan. No one brought that up, dude. Phyllis, no one brought. I've been watching a lot of stuff on like how people think about the Cap update or whatever. No one's bringing up the fact that you just nerfed all of the supports, but Cap has a support ult, and you just made it easier for him to get his ult. Like, it's gonna be insane. Cap is the truth. I just picked him up a couple weeks ago. He's so fun. He's so freaking fun. And then another thing too is they're speeding up his shield throws, right? So his shield throws are naturally faster because I guess they saw it and they were like, yeah, his attacks take too long to give off. And it's like the animation cancel makes it quick. So like, how fast am I going to be able to punch these people? Like, how fast am I going to be able to throw my shield out? Because what if you do it with the animation cancel? It's already sped up, and then with the animation, he's about to be ridiculous. I got target banned once, and that was fun. I played with 2 random people. I didn't know who they were. We lost, but I was the only one on the team that played well, I guess. And then I went to another game, and they were on the opposite team, and they banned my Cap. They told everyone on their team to ban my Cap. And then they end up sending a message in the chat, the match chat, and they were like, sorry, Cap, we had to ban you. I was like, dang it. I gotta get better at my at other characters. I'm good with Penny. That's my 2 main ones right now, Cap and Penny. And then Doctor Strange. I'm okay with Doctor Strange, but I don't like playing him that much. You make me want to try Cap now, honestly. He's so good, bro. But yeah, learn the animation cancels. Just go to Japanese Curry channel on how to play Cap. Yeah, go to his channel. He's a monster. Oh, actually, I can't leave this. I need to go to a different one. Let me type in Japanese Curry. Yeah, watch this. The Ultimate Captain America Guide. So it's Japanese Curry. It's a really good video. He kind of teaches you. But, I mean, things about to change, so I don't know if you want to watch this now that he's about to get the update soon. But he's dope. Something else I was going to add. Another thing that I do, too, is he has to constantly change his name, but now that they've changed, this update is going to make it where you can hide your name so he's not shadow banned as often. You won't have to constantly go to his Twitch to see what his name is. But I think currently it is still Japanese Curry. I think he took it back to Japanese Curry. So you can literally just type in Japanese Curry in the game and then go to all of his highlights. Right? I'm not his highlights, I'm sorry. Go to his replays and just watch those. I've done that. I've watched some of his replays and I'm like, yo. I watch it and I just think, why did he do that? Or I try to guess what is he going to do next. And that's helped me with my cap gameplay, I think. I know what I'm watching after this stream then. Yeah, watch this. Or, I mean, you can very well wait if you want it, but I didn't even know you could do that. What, the, wait, which part? The animation cancel or the go back and watch the replays? Yeah, you can watch everyone's replays. All you need is their name. You look at their name, find them, go to the little friend search thing, find them, click on them, go to their career, and then go to replay, and then it has all their replays, recent replays, all last 50 replays. And you can just watch it. You can look at one where he did super well and just watch it. Going back and watching other yeah, I go back and watch my replays sometimes. And another channel that's really good is Poppin' with Lofton. This dude is awesome, bro. I might end up becoming like a YouTube member just so he can review one of my VODs. But yeah, what he's been doing lately is reviewing viewers' VODs, right? So, and he has information underneath the video on how to do it. You just leave a comment and he'll go over your VOD. But you probably need to be a member because he's only been picking members lately. He gives a lot of great information. So if you want to know like how to be a good tank, just watch one of the ones on tanks. He does a great job. Poppin' with Lofton. Poppin' often with Lofton. Client gonna make me download this game for real. It actually is really good. When you watch people play it, it looks like a lot of nonsense, which it is a lot of nonsense, but it looks like cheap and just like, what is going on? This is so random. But when you're actually playing it and you're getting better and better, like you can tell exactly what's going on. It's not that difficult. It's a lot of fun. It's like Overwatch times 20. I get the same feeling I got when I used to play Overwatch. So much fun, dude. Anyways, I'm gonna hop off. I'll give it to you guys later. Well, I'll see you later today, actually. I did not realize we played today. But anyways, bye everyone. Why haven't you streamed the game? Because if I try to stream it on my computer, it messes up. I suppose I could plug up my PlayStation and just stream on that, I guess. Maybe we could do that. But I also recently been hanging out with my girl. She's next to me when I play it, so it'd be kind of weird if she'll have to have a chair in here. Well, I guess she could lay back there. I don't know. Better than Overwatch? It's better than Overwatch. Do it off PS5 like DBZ? I will. I'll choose one of these days to do it. Peace out, Unc. Okay, peace out. Deuces.